All right, so this is going to be a quick one. It's focused on live performance in Reaper. I'm going to be doing some looping and things, and I wanted to point out a setting which has you using the entire CPU, which seems really boring. But essentially, what happens is you go from using single core processing to something like multi core processing. So let's just take a look at that, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is my Reaper set right here. I have a bunch of channels, and you can see my electric instrument here. It's got a 5-string electric violin or viola, depends on how you see it. And the setting that I'm talking about is if you go into the menu, you go to buffering, and then we look at effects processing here, which is, or multiprocessing in this case, and it is this particular box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck this box and I'm going to play and see if you can hear some of the pops and clicks. I'll see if I can point them out when they happen. And then I'm going to recheck this box afterwards. So right now I'm unchecking it, apply. So I'm going to do it with it unchecked and with it checked. I like to have it checked. It seems to, the latency seems to be just fine, and all of my effects and everything work really well, and there's no pops and clicks, which you don't want to have. So I'm going to try to make it mess up, basically. So this is Mobius Looper, Mobius 3 Looper. It's amazing. All right, so now I'm going to open Playtime 2, and let's see how this recording goes. Right, they're pretty well in time. Let's bring up the volume here. So do you hear how there's a listen for the pop? Right there. So this is a subtle thing. So this is a very subtle thing that really isn't that big of a deal in like a small dose like this, but I can hear that there's like a little bit of a pop, and as you do more things you may notice that that happens, keeping in mind that I have a pretty substantial set here, a lot of tracks, it's like a lot of folders, and then a ton of plugins and things. If I look at my performance meter, I have, looks like I have 127 effects. So that's ridiculous. But yeah, that is right there, 127 effects. I think that's correct. That's insane. But that's it is what it is, right? So processed over all the cores. I'm gonna hit apply, and you'll notice that it'll say may reduce performance at low latencies. What's happening is it's faster to process everything like on a single core, essentially. Like spreading things out is technically a little bit slower. The difference is not is basically negligible for me, at least. Again, this is something you should try out for your own purposes. Let's bring the volume and everything back in and start moving the tempo around. Do you notice that the sound is just a little bit cleaner? And so I've slowed the tempo down to 4 beats per minute. So Yeah, you can kind of see that it makes a pretty significant difference depending on how you're listening here. I was definitely hearing. Whoa, that's insane. I was definitely hearing a lot of pops and clicks. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, you can see at the top here, this tempo is at 4. So it's playing everything extremely slowly and stretching all of it, and it still sounds this awesome. I think that sounds amazing to me. So yeah, I'm gonna play with this for a second. I noticed a pretty significant difference just generally with that, and the effects themselves sound smoother. There's less distortion. It is giving everything enough time and power to properly process. So live stuff is going to sound cleaner. It is like the tiniest bit slower to check that box, but not enough to make it worth having like pops and clicks and things like that. It does say the warning about latency and things within that box. So yeah, go to your buffer settings, hit that, allow multi-effects processing, and see if that helps you with what you're doing. All right. See you soon.